Hello, y'all. It's time to breathe again on the latest Bofa Sports webcast streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You see Patrick with me, Charles, and Patrick. We got a lot to get to as usual. So let's jump right into this week 3 of the college football season. I know one thing that caught your eye. What's some other things that caught your eye?
Hey, dog, I'm not going to lie to you, man. My computer just switched over speakers and I couldn't hear a word you just said.
Are you serious? How did it switch over? Like right when it started?
I know. Right when it switched, it's like I couldn't hear a word you said. And I was like, let me fix my computer again.
Let's rewind.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what. Take 2 and action. Go.
So you see Patrick with me, Charles, and
bad introduction, Charles. Bad introduction.
I know, terrible.
My fault.
We have a lot to get to tonight as usual, so we'll just jump right into it. What caught your eye from week 3 of the college football season? I know one thing that did. But,
oh yeah. Well, I'm not. Look, we got those 6 games. We're gonna go over those 6 games. So I'm gonna go outside of those 6 games of what caught my eye.
Mm-hmm.
Where was it? That Ole Miss and Arkansas game ended up being really freaking good. There was a lot of good games this weekend.
There was, and that Arkansas Mississippi game. I was thinking about that being one of my picks for the games we would pick from, but of course we ended up not to. But man, I sure wanted to, and the game that was played, that was why. Back and forth.
That was such a good game. I mean, Ole Miss, obviously pulled it out, but man, what a good game. I did not get to see like all the scores, but I do remember picking that Minnesota game like outside of our 6. How did that one go? I can't remember the score.
Minnesota lost to California 27-14.
And I watched a little bit of that game, and then I had to bounce out and go handle some crap with, hanging out. But I wanted to watch that game. What was the other game? There was another game. Give me a sec. I got to find them because, there's always so many freaking games.
All right, man. I got you, Patrick. We got A&M Notre Dame, Clemson, Georgia Tech.
Well, I thought we were going over those here in a minute. I thought we was outside those.
Oh, no, we normally pick from those that we pick from, or just whatever, I guess. So that there is something that did catch your eye from outside. That's fine too.
Okay, well, I mean, it was a good weekend for Georgia teams. Everybody won. The Dream won. The Bulldogs won. The Yellow Jackets won. Falcons won. The Braves won.
Patrick, we're still in college football, man.
It don't matter. Look, it says Bofa Sports Live, not Bofa College Football Live.
Patrick, you've been knocked off whack since your speakers went away, and then you got them
whatever. So, I guess then, without further ado, let's talk about them games. That Georgia-Tennessee game was freaking insane. Life of a kicker, man. Life of a kicker. I mean, look, I will say this about this Tennessee team. And you would not believe. I told a couple of people, I was like, that is the best Tennessee team I have seen in 10 years. Best team I have seen in 10 years. You know what they told me? I'm a sore winner. I'm complimenting your team.
Tennessee fans can
I just like you're a sore loser.
Yeah. Patrick, they were hurt.
They were so butt hurt, dude. I mean, wow. But I mean, I get it. I mean, dude, like, and then they have the nerve. I had one guy tell me, he was like, "You just don't understand what it's like to have a losing season." What? You know where I'm from? Wow. I was like, okay. But no, that I have to commend that Tennessee team, man. They came out and they punched. I have to give a lot of credit to. I do have to give a lot of credit to that Georgia team, man. Let me tell you, you get punched in the mouth like that, most teams roll over. And, I was scared about going into the game because I just didn't know what our offense could do. I didn't know what our defense could do. And Aguilar just murked our defense that first quarter. I mean, just 120 for 120 for 250,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. I was like,
in the first quarter.
In the first quarter, I was like, man, there's no way this dude's going to throw for like 500 yards today. And you're almost there in the first quarter. I was like, can we not stop? I was like, dude, this is the worst defense I've seen under Kirby Smart since he started. But they ended up getting it together, man. I mean, I have to commend that Georgia team, man. That is the true definition of bend but not break. So I got to give a lot of credit to Georgia for that. But man, let me tell you, like I said, that is the best Tennessee team I've seen in 10 years, and I would not be hesitant to say that might be their only loss, because if they're playing like that, those teams better take note, because Tennessee is coming. Other than that LSU Florida game is, dude, it's like sometimes I want to feel bad for Florida, but man, dude, after the past 2 years, I don't know who Florida pissed off. I do not know, because to have the schedule that team has had for the past 2 years, he's sleeping with somebody's sister, bro. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Miami, South Florida, good pick, by the way. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Good pick.
It's the only one you missed, though. It's okay.
Exactly. I'm gonna leave it at that, because I'm going to that Texas A&M Notre Dame game. What a game! And then Clemson, Georgia Tech. That, what do they call it? What do they call that? Hurry up!
I just called it a fire drill, but
the fire drill. Yeah,
that was another life of the kicker.
Yeah,
that worked out great for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I'm sitting here going like this. I cannot go. I cannot go for it, too, baby. Come on! That ball went. It came right back in. I was like,
they ran it calmly.
Yeah, you could tell they practiced it.
Yeah, they said they practiced it. They looked at scenarios like this, and that's the thing, Patrick. These games, so hotly contested, so close, it comes down to that situational football. What are you going to do with those situational moments? And if you can make the play, that's the difference. Literally, the difference between you winning and losing. One thing I will say about Georgia and Tennessee, and what I liked about what Georgia did. Before, when Georgia would fall behind, and I know you know this as well as anybody, but before, when Georgia would fall behind, they would start to panic and try to throw the ball to try to work their way back in there. Man, they came out in that second half and they had I think it was a 14-play drive.
A 15-play drive, 14 of them were running.
Yeah. And so
that was a statement drive.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you right now, because that crowd just was like, and it just, like, all the momentum just went to Georgia.
That's the big boy ball. And we had said it last week, where there is a time to get to that identity, that big boy ball. Let's get behind this big physical offensive line, use our staple of running backs. That this was the time. And with Tennessee going out there with the offensive firepower they were showing, perfect for Georgia. Like you said, statement drive. Hey, we are here. And like you said, with Tennessee's credit, they came back and they got it to overtime, had the chance, like you said, life of the kicker. And then in overtime, statement win, running place.
Yep. And I don't know what was going through Heupel's mind. I mean, I think we talked about this on the phone But I didn't know what was going through Heupel's mind. Like, to me, you got to get that kid out there. Just get him out there. Don't let they know, like, a lot of people will use their timeouts to ice the kicker. And I kind of felt Heupel iced his own kicker because it was like he was ready to go out, and then he called another play, and then what was his name? Max something. Anyway, he goes back and he does another kick into the net, and I'm like, you got to get this kid out there. Like, you can't. I disagreed with, especially with like 20 seconds left on the clock. Look, I don't care who you are. Not many times is somebody going to score in 15 seconds. There's just not. You know what I mean? Normally your defense, especially with the way this game was going, I don't see anybody scoring in 20 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever. And Heupel just kept running the ball. And then he had it in the center of the field where I felt like was like perfect. And he only had 12 seconds left. I mean, by the time he kicked that, there's only going to be 6 seconds left on the clock. But it's right in the middle of the field. And then they ran it again. And I was like, why are you trying to get it on the left hash when middle was where you want it to be, you know? I just kind of felt like Heupel iced his own kicker. I think I kind of feel like that because when the kid was ready, and he was ready on like 3 separate occasions, he was ready to go out there. And then by the time the third one hit, he's already had too many people in his ear. He's already had too many slaps on the helmet. He's already had too many slaps on the pad. This kid is nerved now, you know. And now Kirby Smart's like, I don't have to call a timeout. Just watch him miss the field goal. He hasn't been put in that situation. He was such a young kicker, you know. And everybody's like, oh man, I feel really bad for that kid. And I was like, don't feel bad for that kid. This is what builds a kid into being what like Tucker is. Or Rodrigo is. I mean, like, I remember when Rodrigo missed his freshman year. Missed 3 of them right in a row, dude. And I was like, and it cost us a game. What, next game? And that kid was rock solid for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So this is what makes a kid, this he has to be put in these situations. He has to know what the deal is, and he has to know the importance of it. And I understand he probably does know the importance of it. But at the same time, like, get the kid out there and let him kick. You wasted too much time giving that kid too much time to think. That's just my personal opinion on it. Put him out there and let him win the game because he could have.
Yeah, I think part of it sometimes is Heupel. Yeah, in this case with Heupel, I think sometimes you may ask the kicker what hash do they prefer it? Do they prefer it on the left hash? Do they prefer it on the right hash? I think Kirby Smart did a good job of calling the timeouts that were left for him to get that cycle started. And then once that cycle got started, then Heupel started trying to be a little bit too cute. And then he went out there, and like you said, there's a lot of helmet pass, and that's one thing I will say. Leave the kicker alone.
Yeah,
leave him alone. All right. He knows how important the kick is. I understand people try to go over there, they try to throw encouragement on him, but let him be. Like, sometimes it's just like in baseball. If somebody has a no-hitter going or a perfect game going, those baseball players don't go over there talking to the pitcher. The pitcher knows what's going on. They let the pitcher be in that spot. And then he goes back out there and performs, and then he'll get the no-hitter or he doesn't. But there's not a whole bunch of people out there talking with him.
Dude, when it's a no-hitter, you don't talk to the pitcher.
Yeah.
Like, I said through it, I was catching the no-hitter one time, and that dude said he might as well just shit his pants because nobody's going around him. You don't go around a pitcher with a no-hitter going on. No. You leave that man in his thoughts. He's focused, especially if you're like in the 5th, 6th inning. Nah, man, he ain't need no pep talk. He don't need no pep talk. He's focused. 6 innings, he's focused. You let that man be. I'll leave. Hey, you need to go talk to your pitcher. Why? It's fine. You got a no-hitter. It's 6 innings. I'm not saying nothing.
And with that, hey, Patrick, we're going to get on into the week 4 of these college, so we'll get to pick these 6 games out. But before we do, let's introduce our graphic.
Yeah. Look at that graphic.
So the graphic reads like this. So Patrick's sitting at 5-1. I'm sitting at 4-2. We both got the Colorado Houston game. Houston won that. We both had Houston. Am I missing a game here? I'm trying to see here. Oh, Florida and LSU. There we go. Florida and LSU. We both had LSU winning, and we both had Georgia beating Tennessee. The games that put you over the top was the A&M Notre Dame game. A&M won 41-40. You had A&M, and Clemson and Georgia Tech. You had Georgia Tech winning, and they got that one 24-21. I got the Miami victory over South Florida, right? So those are the records as we go into this next week. Patrick is up by 1. So let's see how this next week goes. Patrick, pick your game. Your first one, please.
I got to go first. I went first last week.
It's okay. No, you go. No, I'm not.
5-1. That gets you going first on it.
Yes, man. Hey, if you got the record, yes.
I kind of have a feeling where you're fixing to go, but
Patrick,
I'm going to go.
Patrick, to the victor goes the spoils.
You know what? I'll take it because, I mean, it's going to be rough being at the top at 4-0. It's going to be rough. Nobody can catch me.
No, it's going to be rough knocking you off that mountaintop, but go ahead.
It's going to be rough. Yeah. If you can. I'm going to start here. I think this is going to be a really good game. Texas Tech and Utah. This is going to be a really good game. Look, we know these teams can score. Question is, can they stop the other team from scoring? That's going to be the biggest question right there. I think I'm going to go Utah over Texas Tech. And this is the reason why. I think Utah's defense is better than Texas Tech's defense. And I think Texas Tech is going to allow I'm not going to sit here and tell you a lot of points, like 120 or anything like that. But I do feel that Utah is a better team on both sides of the ball. So I'm going to go Utah. I do feel like they will score some points. I do think both teams will score. I'm going to go Utah. I'm going to go Utah 38-28. I think this Utah offense, I feel, is quite potent, especially against a defense that is non-existent. So, yeah, 38-20. What did I say?
38-28.
38-28. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna agree with you on this one. I do have Utah winning as well. Yeah, I think with this game being in Salt Lake City, that helps as well. Them having the home field advantage for this one. I think Utah is coming back to what they have been the last few years before last year. Last year was kind of an off year for them, but they run the ball well. Normally Utah teams coached under Kyle Winningham are very disciplined. They run the ball well, and they do have a hard-nosed defense. The passing game is a compliment from what they're able to do on the ground, and I think they're getting back to that style. Texas Tech, like you said, they're going to score, but can they stop anybody from scoring? And if you get an offense that is pretty balanced, they normally struggle to stop that team from scoring. So, yes, I'm with you there. I'm going to have – I do like the 10-point spread you have there. I think it will be something similar to – because I think Utah can pull away. I do think it will be a little bit lower scoring. I'll go 34-24 myself. Actually, yeah, 34-24. I'll go 34-24, Utah winning. And, yeah, basically for the same reasons that you had. So, all right. Wow, we're agreeing. Goodness, I can't catch you right now. But we'll see how the other 5 games go.
Hey, look, you got 3 to get me off my game. So.
I'm gonna go over to the Big Ten, and we're gonna look at Michigan and Nebraska. So, is this the time that Nebraska?
I had a feeling you were gonna pick this game.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. And so with Nebraska, is this the time they are going to start making a statement. We have been talking about them being close. We've been talking about them potentially being a team that may be able to upset the normal seed that you see in the Big Ten with Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. So now they have Michigan coming to Lincoln, and Michigan, I think they're still trying to work some things out there. Since Morris taken over, the offense hasn't been as explosive as they can be, I guess, or at least to the point where they can get to 25 or 30 points. Sometimes they struggle to get above 20. I know they whooped Central Michigan 63-3, but I'm talking about like some better competition. Yeah. And so I don't know with the freshman quarterback Underwood how he's going to handle this environment. One thing about playing in Lincoln, that is a tough environment once those fans do get going, and they are feeling this is a situation where Matt Rule, this is him in his third year. Normally when he's in his third year, he can get them going pretty good. And I do think this will be the beginning of it. So I am taking Nebraska. I do think it will be kind of a low scoring game. But I will go 24-21. Nebraska.
Good pick. It's kind of. I thought you was going to go Michigan, but you're not going to catch me on this. Look, dude. It's the freshman quarterback thing for Michigan is really hard for them right now. It just. I don't think that he is going to be able to go on the road like that in that environment and get Nebraska like that. I think Nebraska is going to be ready for them. I do like your score, but I think Nebraska can. I think Nebraska's going to come ready on both sides of the ball, man. I just really do. I think the quarterback's going to make a ton of mistakes. I'm gonna go 27-14, dude. I think Nebraska is gonna handle it.
Almost 2 touchdowns. Okay. Yeah. 27-14. Well, all right. We're in agreement there. Can't catch you. No, it's all right, man. It's a long season.
You'll get me. It's a long season. That's what they've been saying.
It's always close coming down to the wire with these picks.
Then I'm going to go here. Illinois, Indiana. This, man, to me, this is the game of the week right here. I feel this is the game of the week. 2 really good offenses, 2 really good defenses. They're going to come ready. We're rolling into conference play, so I think these teams are going to be ready. But I do feel Illinois comes into Indiana, even though it's in Indiana. I get it, but I think Illinois comes in and takes the win. I think that it's going to be. I kind of feel like this one's going to be low scoring. I'm going to go 20. I'm going to go. I'm going to go 28-25.
25 for Illinois.
Yeah,
28-25. And yeah, I like this Illinois team.
I do too.
And
they're fired up, dude. Ooh. Man,
I think they are going to be able to run the ball pretty well on Indiana's defense. And it's a typical Brett Bielema coach team. Big physical offensive line, run the ball 30, 40 times, and they actually have some passing to go with it.
Yeah.
And their defense is pretty solid as well. I think Indiana's going to have a chip on their shoulder because, look, Indiana, they made the college football playoff last year. And a lot of people said they didn't deserve to be there really because they hadn't played anybody. And their coach, Kirk Cinetti, is telling them that, like, yo, look, these people over here, they doubting us again. Man, let's go ahead and show it. It's not going to be enough though. I like this Illinois team.
This Illinois team is good, man. They're good.
So I got them winning as well. And I will go 28-25. That's a good score. I think Illinois wins by double digits. So I think it'll be 27-17 is what I got for this one. Yeah, but I think Illinois, looking at things will break right. They will have Ohio State coming in later on in the year. And if they're able to beat Indiana and then get past that, look out for Illinois.
I know, right?
Well, let's go back. Let's get into the SEC here, Patrick. And I'm going to pick Auburn and Oklahoma.
That was gonna be my third game.
Was it?
I got a third game. It's cool.
All right. Sorry for picking it. My bad. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be down to the wire. I think Auburn is vastly improved, and I think Oklahoma is vastly improved too. Looking at them play against Michigan a couple of weeks ago, that defense looked pretty good, looking more like what you would expect from a Brent Venables coached defense. Aggressive, coming on blitzes, good tight man-to-man coverage. And Auburn, so here's another storyline with that one. So Jackson Arnold, of course, was in Oklahoma last year. He is now the quarterback for Auburn. And that offense is looking pretty good there. The defense for Auburn, the secondary might be a question mark, but if their front seven can get some pressure, which I think they can, then they can make things pretty difficult for Oklahoma. But either way, I still have this being very close. I think Auburn pulls this out. I'm going to go Auburn. This will be another close game, I think. It could be a little bit higher scoring. I'm going to go 33-27. Auburn pulling this out.
Okay. Well, here's going to be your chance. I knew you were going to go. I knew you were going to pick this game, and I kind of had a feeling you were going to go Auburn because, hook them. Look, I like Auburn's offense. I don't think their defense is going to get any pressure on Oklahoma's offense. I think that this being played in Oklahoma, I think is giving Oklahoma the advantage. Now, I would say this: if this was being played in Auburn, I'd probably go Auburn. It's just one of those games. I kind of feel like at home, it gives them the advantage. So as long as Oklahoma takes care of the ball, no turnovers, just take care of the ball. They could win this. I think they could win. I think they could win it handily. I'm not going to say and tell you they're going to get 21 points on them or beat them by 21. But I do think that both of these teams can score. I just think Oklahoma will have more. I'm going to go Oklahoma. I'm going to go Oklahoma 38-30.
38-30? Okay. I don't think you even believe that, but no, I'm glad you do. I don't think you even believe that, but
well, I was thinking it was either going to be. I think it was going to be either 8 or 10, and I couldn't debate on which one I wanted to get in that. So 38-30.
38-30 Oklahoma. All right, cool. So Patrick, what's your last game for the week?
Let's go over to the ACC and get this game. NC State and Duke.
Okay.
I like this one's going to be one of those surprise games. NC State, they look good from time to time, and Duke looks good from time to time. But I picked this game mostly because I think it's going to be very interesting on the next few weeks leading up after this game, because one of these teams is going to go into the next week with a full momentum and trying to make a statement, right? But I think Duke is going to pull it out. I'm going to go Duke 27-24.
All right. This one, I'm picking NC State for this one because, and I know the loss that Duke had earlier in the year to Illinois. It's a non-conference loss. But man, Illinois pulled away from them, and I know we are pretty high on Illinois, but man, they kind of walked away from them in that week 2 game. And I think NC State, not necessarily saying they're as good as Illinois, but I think they have a lot of those features where they can kind of pull off from Duke. So I think you'll get to the fourth quarter and then NC State will pull away. You had 27-24 for Duke winning?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go. I don't think it'll get to the 40s. I think it'll get to the high 30s. I think I'll go. I think it'll be something like 37 to 27. No, 37-24. I think NC State can win by 2 touchdowns or close to 2 touchdowns. Because Duke just has that. All right, man, we're good. We can play for about
3.5 quarters.
Yeah, and then we just kind of ran out of gas. I think NC State can start to wear them down a little bit. All right. Oh, so I guess I got the last game here. How about SMU and TCU? And so, what?
Wow, I did not see that one coming.
Yeah. How about SMU and TCU? And we know SMU.
That was one, like literally some of the game. I was like, nah, I had never picked that one. Wow, I did not see that. Dude, that's okay. I'm gonna figure that one out.
SMU and TCU. So this is the old rivalry between DFW, Dallas, and Fort Worth. SMU, of course, is in Dallas, and TCU is in Fort Worth. SMU, they're coming in. I mean, they had the tough loss to Baylor, and TCU just kind of going about their business. But now they're about to step on up here with the competition. But I like what TCU is bringing. I think this will be a shootout.
Yeah.
But I will go TCU 42-38. I think it's gonna be a shootout, man.
Yeah, dude, I got it more of a shootout than that.
Do you?
I'm sitting here looking at it, and I was like, I didn't think you would pick that game because I felt it would be a shootout. Because I mean, literally, this is a battle of no defense right here. Like, the battle of no defense. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 52. I'm gonna go 52-40. Hold on. I'm gonna go 49-42. That's what I'm gonna go. 49-42. I'm gonna go TCU.
You could use Aaron's score that he pointed out. 98.
98.5 to 76. Yeah, let's do that because like.
You going what? 49-42?
49-42. I think everybody scores touchdowns and they ain't no field goals.
That's so funny.
TCU though. You mark me down for TCU. 49-42.
Gotcha. So we agree on that one. And you know what, man? There was some interesting games that I was looking at. One of them was Tulane and Ole Miss. The other one was Arkansas and Memphis. Because Memphis and Tulane, that could be one of those teams could emerge. as your group of 5 team that gets into the college football playoff. And Tulane's going to Oxford to play Mississippi or Ole Miss. That's an interesting contest. So both of those teams, Tulane and Memphis, playing these SEC schools. I thought about looking at those, but I said, you know what? I know we love our defense, but whatever, man. Let's go to a shootout. Let's do SMU and TCU.
Yeah, that's a straight shootout. Hey, tune into that game if all you want to see is passing yards and running. That's it. That's all you're going to get. How did all of these teams score on their first 6 drives?
Oh, goodness. So the 6 games that we have picked from. So we have, and this is in no particular order, but these are the 6 games we have. We have Texas Tech and Utah. Both of us have Utah winning. Auburn and Oklahoma. You have Oklahoma. I have Auburn. Both of us have Nebraska beating Michigan. We both have Illinois beating Indiana. We both have TCU winning a shootout with SMU. And you're going Duke over NC State, and I got NC State. So we have 2 games that we are not seeing eye to eye on. So we'll see how those 2 work out. And of course, the other ones. And of course, if we get a correct score, then that's 3 bonus points that we get for the correct score. Before we head on over to the NFL, so I seen Aaron's comment. Well, we both saw Aaron's comment about Brian Kelly snapping into Slim Jim.
Dude, so Aaron, we saw that comment come up, and we both started to comment like we were live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it threw us off because we happened to be talking about that particular topic, and when we saw that come up, we both was fixing to respond to it like we were live.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's funny. So look, and another thing I was talking with Patrick about is just bringing these clips on over, and so they can say it better than how we would describe it. But basically, what had happened was after the LSU victory over Florida. You know how everybody does their press conference at the end of the game, post game. And Brian Kelly comes out and he says this thing, just kind of giving a breakdown of what he thought of the game. And then a reporter asks a question about his offense, basically saying, what do you think about your offense? And Kelly starts crashing out. That's the question you ask?
We won the game.
Yeah. No, he did not admit that he is a man and he is 40. We're still waiting for him.
We're still waiting on that. The verdict's still out.
And we're also still waiting to admit that Southern accent was fake too. And so,
well, I mean, look, you get around them, you get around Louisiana enough for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
It tends to get into your DNA.
That's probably the whole South.
Yeah, it is. I mean, dude, you go all over the South and you see some missing teeth, buck teeth, people dipping without teeth.
A lot of my family's in Mississippi. So I know when I get around them, some country comes out. So
you have to move north to stay a little bit sane. You know, I stay right down here in the South and I'm crazy.
Hey, you can never take the South out of me.
You take you out of the South, but the South stay.
Yeah. But Brian Kelly starts crashing out. As soon as he said, I didn't get nothing. Okay. I love how you wrote nothing. You sure you didn't get nothing?
He said nothing. He didn't get nothing. Did you spit after you said that?
Yeah, them Highlands of South Carolina. Woo, boy. Ooh. Yeah.
Hey, look, if that was your first trip to the South, don't do that again. you gotta ease into it. It's like you don't just jump into the Highlands. You gotta ease yourself into it. You don't.
Oh goodness.
I'm gonna go down south. Where you going? Decatur?
Yeah, hold on. Let's see what Aaron said. He says, "No, I put my truck in a Carolina stance, Saxby's with a Salt Life sticker on the back of my truck, and then I drove by 37 Church."
Hey, praying all the way home.
Yeah.
Yep, praying all the way home. Bless your heart. We all know what that means.
You know it. Oh goodness. So then as Brian Kelly is responding to the question about the offense, how he's just starting to crash out. And the next questions from the reporter, you could tell he was starting to get a little bit like, man, oh, you gonna do that to me? Well, what about that poor third down conversion? And then Brian Kelly went Herm Edwards. We play the game to win the game. and so when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute. Herm,
is that you?
Yeah. and then when he said, because Brian Kelly's still crashing out, and he's still talking about, y'all need to come up with better questions. And then he said, what about that running game being garbage? He didn't say garbage, but he might as well have. And he's like, you know what? Y'all are spoiled.
Move the Gatorade bottle off the table and come out. See ya.
And so he crashes out. To his credit, on Monday, he goes and he apologizes to that reporter as LSU is starting to prepare for their next game against Southeast Louisiana. So what I'll say is this, and Patrick.
I'll say this: if it was Nick Saban, he wouldn't apologize.
He probably would not have.
I'd be like, are you going to apologize to that reporter? You go, what reporter?
Yeah. Yeah, he's already moving on.
That idiot that asked me about my offense? that reporter? Hell no.
So I'll say this. I don't have any issue with it on either side. Look, Kelly, we know Kelly can be kind of a a-hole at times, of course. And the down south, and this isn't me or Patrick trying to put the SEC or football in the South on any type of a pedestal, but
even though we know they are.
Yeah. Exactly. And so it's a pressure cooker down south, and reporters, they're pretty bold down there. The coaches probably should know what they're getting into if they're going to take a job down in any of those schools in the SEC. Because of the pressure cooker there's fan bases, they are very impatient. And I think that's every fan base to a degree, but it's especially true down south. So I think what had happened was you caught Brian Kelly in a moment where this was a highly charged game. The LSU Florida game is one of the most emotional games in the SEC that you will see. These two teams really don't like each other. And I mean, they're both charter schools within their states, and there's a lot of athletes on the field. Some might have went from Florida, came into LSU, vice versa. Lots into that game. So I think the reporter kind of caught him in a moment where he was starting to wind down, and Kelly just hadn't got to that point yet where he was calm and ready to face the questions. And that happens from time to time. Yeah. I think it's just kind of human nature there. I thought it was funny that he crashed out like that. But and then the reporter just going back at him. What about this?
That's what I loved about it. That's what I loved about it, is the reporter fired back. But we haven't seen that kind of emotion come from a coach in a while, since Nick Saban done it several years back. You know what I mean? But that was a tough game. I mean, that was a tough game. I mean, Florida. I mean, look, Florida's what, 1-2 now?
Yeah.
And that was a tough loss for Florida, especially going into the conference play that they're heading into, and I
Playing
think
in Death
Napier.
Valley too.
What's that?
Playing in Death Valley too. Ugh.
And playing in Death Valley, yeah. So I really think that this was, Napier got under his skin a little bit with the way Florida actually did play. Plus all of that stuff that happened before game, then that little scuffle that happened during the game. There was a lot of tension in that game, and I just don't think Kelly came down from that tension before that press conference, and and that stuff kind of happens. So I mean, to me, I didn't see any problem with the way Kelly responded, but I love the fact that the reporter didn't back down. That's what I really loved about the whole situation. And I mean, do I think that he needed to go into being you're spoiled? If you're going to apologize for that. Other than that, there shouldn't be no apology. I didn't see anything that Kelly did wrong, because if Kelly would have acted that way and then the reporter said nothing, Kelly's in the wrong. Kelly acted that way, reporter responded. Neither one of them, like either they're both in the wrong or they're both exempt from being wrong, kind of thing. I didn't see a problem with it. I like the banter that went back and forth with both of them. So, I mean, it was just a lot of that was a very emotional game, and you could see it from the start when Florida and LSU was pretty much almost in a fight before the game. So no, I don't see any problem with what happened with it. I mean, the kind of way I looked at it was, hey, Kelly acting Southern now. I like it.
He hit it now.
Southern, but he was acting Southern.
Is this is this some sort of a baptizing? Just getting into it a little.
Just get into it, man. Look, lean into the South. We're awesome down here. We're awesome.
And Aaron said, "I will never forget being called a Yankee," and it was brought up randomly. I thought, why are we talking about baseball? And then it hit him.
Yeah. That's the South for you.
It is, yeah. you have to catch us off net for one of the conversations that we have about the South. I'll bring one up real quick. So, Aaron, I'm gonna have to ask you, when you were down there in South Carolina, did you get some of that sweet tea? Because if you did, this will be
sweet tea until you go to Georgia.
Yeah, and this will be before we get to the NFL. But yeah, I remember I was on a military trip, and we came to Georgia, Macon, Georgia, around Macon, and so the dude that I was on the TDY with, he said, "Hey man, I want to try some of that sweet tea." I said, "Are you sure? Are you ready for that?" And he said, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's get it." So we went to a Bojangles. Yeah, we went to.
Hey, dude, you talking about getting?
Aaron said, "Yeah, Aaron, yes." And so I learned what was really sweet tea. Yeah, that is diabetic water at its finest. And and so I said, "Are you sure you want to do that?" He said, "Yeah, let's get it." So we went to a Bojangles. Then we got that cup of sweet tea. Patrick, would I tell you, and Aaron too, would I tell you, he took a sip of the sweet tea and he went right back to the water fountain and tried to water it down. You might as well cut
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, look, we'll put it this way. When I make two different types of sweet tea. I make Southern sweet tea, which is 1.5 cups to a gallon. And then I make my sweet tea, which is 2.5 cups. And when I tell you mine is sweet, it's sweet.
And hey, I told you.
And I put a little bit more sugar than Bojangles puts in theirs. So
my man went straight to the water fountain as soon as he took a sip. I was like, oh, you're not ready?
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Oh goodness. It's great when you could go, and then you could go to a Crystals with, like I did when I was in Atlanta, kicking it with my cousin. And awesome. And so when I went to that Crystals and I got a cup of sweet tea, and the lady at the drive-thru, she came to me. Oh yeah, we got that sweet tea coming, baby. It's fresh out the batch. I said, "Oh goodness, this is about."
Oh, dude! When it's fresh out the batch, that's when it's going to hit you. That hits you in the face. And sometimes that'll even make me like,
I can,
ooh,
I can still taste the sugar grains. And so,
yeah,
I said, "Oh,
yeah.
okay."
See, the sugar grains they ain't even dissolved yet. It's still because for whatever reason I haven't understood this, but Crystals never they never heat their tea up to the point where it dissolves the sugar crystals.
Yeah.
The sugar crystals are like they just kind of dissolve over time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I never understood why Crystals does that, but man, when they make that fresh batch and you go, like you can chew on the sugar. Yeah.
I caught it hot, man.
Yeah.
And she told me that. Oh yeah, baby, that sweet tea is coming right up. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. This is about to hit. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Georgia and the ATL in the South, let's head on to the NFL. And
How about them
Patrick,
Falcons?
yeah, so that what? Hey, did they do that now?
I don't know if they do that anymore. That's a butterfly. They don't do that no more. We're butterflies. We're Falcons. we put the hurt on Vikings. We hadn't quite understood them Buccaneers this year yet, but that's okay.
Tampa, Baker Mayfield, man, and you know with him going to Oklahoma, I cannot stand him, but he has found a home in Tampa Bay, and that dude is balling. And that drive he led last minute in Houston on Monday night, man.
Just let you know, I mean that dude can play, and he is, like you said. I think you said this last week. He has resurrected his career in Tampa. And to be honest with you, it was going to be hard to do it in Tampa, especially following Tom Brady, like, you know, with him coming out of the Patriots and winning that Super Bowl right off. But I mean, he has resurrected his career, and Tampa loves him down there, man. They love him. So.
Yes, and
and that was a gutsy call to run at the end. Yeah,
and you know, and I think they did it. I think Tampa Bay did have a timeout. They had one timeout left, so since they had the one timeout, everything was open to them. And so they're just like, shoot, if we don't score, we could call this timeout. We basically got two opportunities. They did a good job of managing that whole situation because there was a time with about 35 seconds left. They could have called a timeout, but they decided to run a play. And then they got to a goal situation. They saved that timeout, and now everything is open to them. And then, of course, it left Houston no time to do anything.
Yeah.
So
perfect clock management, the right plays. I mean, it seems like everything in Tampa, everybody's on the same page. They just are. I mean, the way they score, and they could take their time. They could score. I mean, it's almost like they could score at will, kind of thing. It's just they're just looking really strong in Tampa, and Baker is leading that to perfection right now. So.
Yeah, and I mean Tampa Bay, so they're sitting there. I think they're a threat.
Yeah, definitely a threat. And Atlanta made a huge statement against Minnesota this weekend. They played really well. I say they played really well. I mean, they only had one touchdown and 400 freaking field goals. It was like every time they scored, it was only on a field goal, except for that one touchdown that they had. But I mean, Atlanta's defense showed up. That's for sure against that. And they made McCarthy it was a living hell for him all day. So yeah, I was proud of my Falcons. I want to go to this game, Giants and Cowboys, man.
Boy, it was a shootout.
That was a shootout, dude.
There's your Russell Wilson turn back the clock moment. He will never throw for 400 yards again this year.
Never again.
Yeah.
Never again. What I want to point out is this. Now, as much as I have said it, I still agree with it. As long as the Joneses own the Cowboys, they will never win another Super Bowl. I'm dead still set on that. But I will say this. That was the type of game Cowboys lose. All the time. All the time. They did not lose that game. Maybe it was because it was a division. I don't know. But I will say this. That was a different Cowboys team than I have saw in the past several years. Normally, that right there would have broke them, and they would have lost that game. But they kept fighting. I mean, like that's the one thing that the Cowboys did is they fought that entire game. So I got to give them a lot of credit for that. Tons of credit for just not giving up. So normally that's a game the Cowboys lose, but they did not break on that one. So
sounds like Aaron had Malik Neighbors and Brandon Aubrey on his fantasy team, and yeah, if you had those two, you might have won off of those two performances alone.
Yeah.
Brandon Aubrey, is it off base to say Brandon Aubrey might be the best player on the Cowboys? I mean,
well, it's only week 2, so
yeah. And look, I know they got CeeDee Lamb and Dak and those guys, but man, Brandon Aubrey, he hit a 64-yarder that would have been good from 74 to send that game into overtime.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you get to midfield, you might be able to kick it with that too.
Hey, 4th and 1 on your own 25. Hey, you're still good.
Yeah.
That dude's kicking from the parking lot and making it. Yeah, that field goal looked like he would have been good for 75, 80 yards, man. He booted the crap out of that ball.
Goodness. I mean, it just effortless too. Just and then it's next thing you know, 75 yards.
Dude, he kicked the crap out of that ball though. Good Lord.
Patrick.
What ended up being the distance on that?
It was 64.
It was 64.
Mm-hmm.
So not quite the record, but
yeah, that's still Justin Tucker.
Tucker at 66, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I wanted to shout out to the Cowboys because, like I said, normally that's a game they would lose, and they stuck with it and played. So that was a good game.
Patrick, the Colts are 2-0.
The Colts are 2-0. I was fixing to get there, but I wanted to go here first.
I'm sorry.
Dolphins.
Oh no! Why? Why?
No.
House of Cards. He said, "I want to go to the Dolphins."
Dude, they scored 27 points, man. But I think they kind of got lucky with that. That is the one team where I'm like, I don't know if Dolphins can swim anymore to them.
They have
Miami, let's drown.
Indy, let's power dirt. Look, the Indy or Miami, they have a Thursday night game at Buffalo. And I think, especially if it goes how I feel it's going to go, which is Buffalo winning by a lot, I see changes coming.
Do you feel like they would start putting in like a?
Aaron said forfeit. Aaron said they're going to get mercy ruled anyway. Basically,
yeah.
They don't need to
cancel the game. Yeah, don't broadcast it and cancel the game. We're just going to give this to Buffalo because we don't want any Miami people to get injured. Because that's what it's going to be. Josh Allen is going to just run all over them. I mean, he's going to pick that defense apart. I'd be surprised if that game is not like 45-0 by half.
I see changes. I see changes coming. Like after that, you're gonna go into a mini bye week basically, and it does look like things are just they're falling apart. The ending of that game was about as bad as it could get.
Yeah.
The Miami looked lost against New England. It looked lost at the end. Just bad clock management. Now you're seeing Buffalo on this Thursday nighter. Ugh.
And Buffalo's rolling, by the way.
Mhm.
Hey, shout out to Mac Jones and the 49ers, man. He that was a pretty masterful game that he ran.
Played pretty well, we must say. And the thing is, we're gonna get healthier. We're gonna get some people back. We'll get Brock Purdy back. We'll get George Kittle back soon, and we're hanging in there now. Granted, it's a win in New Orleans, and then I know not too many people are expecting New Orleans to do anything, including me. But but hey, you get the wins where you can get it.
Yeah.
Aaron says the Cardinals are the most fraudulent 2-0 team ever. And hey, Aaron, we're gonna see each other this week. Y'all come visit us this week, so we'll see who's frauds.
Yeah, dude, that fraud game of the week.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron, here you go. How about them Steelers?
Ooh. Aaron Rodgers comments activate. Let's get
That's what I'm doing it for. I mean, right at the closing of the show, activated. Dude, Seahawks put it on them, man.
They
They did. Nice bounce back game by the Ravens.
Mhm.
Like you said, the Colts beat the Broncos. Be honest with you, that game was not as close as the final score said with the Cardinals and the Panthers. That game wasn't as close as that score said. I mean, the Panthers were struggling that first half.
It was 27-3. And but
that's another place that might need to start doing some moving.
Yeah, and Bryce Young, I will say this. I mean, they led. They almost came back. I mean, he said,
Look. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Cardinals are not fraudulent. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that they played a team that I feel is worse than they are. And the game was not close. That's all I'm saying.
So, real quick, Patrick, what games are you looking to for this week?
Well, let me say this right here. How about them Chiefs 0-2? Just thought I'd throw that out there and let's see how that goes.
I think they're
fine too. Taylor Swift will not let them drop too far. Travis Swift will say something about it.
So Aaron says he told the other Cards fans when they said it was over in the third quarter that it was not over, and you're right.
Look, you got to play into all zeros on the clock, 100%, dude. Look, I'm a Falcons fan. Believe me, I have sit and watched the Falcons have a 20-point lead going in like through the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left. Threw an interception, was pick six, went for an onside kick, screwed that all up. Next play was a touchdown, and then screwed it up with another freaking pick and lost the game. It was like 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We were up 20 and we lost by 1. Just so you know. Look, I have seen it. It does not. I do not like it, but I agree with you. It was not over. The Panthers, the Panthers are just not that good. They're just not that good. So, I mean, to me, I think the Cardinals are a better team than the Panthers.
What's coming? What are you looking forward to for next week?
Well, Falcons got the Panthers.
Yes.
We should be 2-1. I want to see how I'm curious about how the Colts, because the Colts have the Titans. I want to see how I'm curious about their success, how well they deal with success going into Tennessee and playing them. So I kind of want to. I'm going to watch a little bit of that game. Rams and Eagles is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Rams and Eagles going to be good. I think the Buccaneers should handle the Jets. Well, and like you said, the 49ers and Cardinals.
Ooh, Lions and Ravens on Monday night.
Who? Oh,
Lions and Ravens.
I didn't go down far enough. Yeah, that's going to be good. And the Chiefs should get their first win.
They should. I will say with that one, I don't think it'll be as easy as everyone might think. Like you say, you got the Chiefs being 0-2. I think the Giants have some players to actually get excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Now they don't have enough of those players, so I don't think the Giants are going to be making any runs to the playoffs. But
we saw crazier 8-8 win Super Bowl. Just saying.
It's true. You just got to get there. You just got to get in the game.
Get an opportunity.
So
hey, you can't spell elite without Eli. I'm just saying.
He's not there anymore.
He is now Chad Powers.
Yeah. So before we get on out, Patrick, Tom Brady, real quick. So Tom Brady I'll just ask the question. Do you think there's a conflict of interest situation with him? Of course, he is a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, and he was sitting in the coach's box with them during the game on Monday night with the Raiders and the Chargers. But of course, he is also the main broadcaster working with Kevin Burkhardt on Fox Sports. So do you think there is a conflict of interest that could arise with this? Because people say it is a conflict of interest. There's other people who say it's not. What do you think?
I mean, look, I'll compare this to gambling on your own team and then forcing them to lose or something like that. I'm going to say no, because just because he has an opinion does not mean that the Raiders are going to go out and win every game just because he has an opinion. I mean, I'm going to say no. And in today's society, I mean, what really constitutes conflict of interest in today's society when everybody has more than one job? They have side hustles, they have passion projects, they have all of these things. I mean, not one person told him he has to sign a non-compete that says he can't broadcast on this or that or whatever. So if there's no non-compete, then to me, it doesn't sound like there is any conflict of interest.
And another thing,
legally, you know.
And another thing too, we as people, we have to learn to take responsibility for our own actions. And where I'm going with it is this: if you are that worried about Tom Brady being a minority owner of the Raiders, and you are any of those other three teams in the Raiders division, so that's Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers, Denver Broncos, in particular, and whatever other team might be playing the Raiders, step your game up. Step your game up and make sure, like, if you're worried about him being in the coach's box or whatnot, step your game up. Make sure you have your things going so you could knock off the Raiders, and then it's the Raiders.
It's like what we used to say. You know how, remember when Cam Newton played for the Panthers?
Yeah.
And he would get a touchdown and he would do the Superman thing.
Yep.
Right. And everybody was like, oh God, I hate that. Blah, 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 blah. But all right, if you hate it so much, then stop it. Stop him from scoring. Don't go and do like, oh God, we gotta ban celebrations so he doesn't do it. No. Line up, stop him from scoring. You stop him from scoring, he ain't doing Superman poses. It's as simple as that. Stop being babies about the whole situation. If you didn't like it, then, like I always tell people, I'm not gonna I don't need everybody in the world to like what I do. I just need 1% to like what I do. That's 750,000 or 7 million people right there. I just need 1%. Not everybody's gonna like what you do. If you want everybody to like what you do, sell ice cream. That's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Tom Brady is a minority owner of the Raiders. What are we talking about? Less than 5%? Well, if it's less than 5%, to me, that ain't whatever. You know, maybe if he was 100% owner, maybe I'd say a little bit more of like a conflict of interest. Well, I mean, dude, it's probably less than 5%, maybe at the most 10.
That's like an investment, basically.
Yeah, maybe that's an investment. I can tell you right now, if I had people owning some of my business, I'm going to tell you right now, if I own 51% of it, as far as I'm concerned, they're just investors. They don't have any say so of what my business does, says, do, whatever. I own 51%. That means I'm a majority owner. What I say goes. You're invested into what I say. That's what you're doing. As far as I'm concerned, that's what Tom Brady is. He's invested in what they say. So to me, I don't see a conflict of interest. Now, if they want to preach this, then sign a non-compete. Get him to sign a non-compete. But if you're not worried about it at that point, then don't be worried about it a year down the road when all this crap's coming out. Don't worry about it. He's a minority owner. That's an investor. That's all that is. Maybe even an angel investor. I wouldn't even say anything about it. Whatever.
Well, Patrick, so before we hop on out, what is coming on up for Bro Epic?
Okay, so we did about half of our season 2. Brantley did a couple of challenges with his friend Preston, so we got 2 episodes. We got 3 episodes done. I'll be posting the first one tomorrow. So be looking out for that. I did my Monday morning motivation, Dr. Seuss, by the way. I'm going to leave it at that. Go check it out. And then I know I've been saying this for a little bit, but I got a little bit more content, and plus I'm fixing to do a little bit more posting on a few other things, but I'm going to start bringing back the Friday wrap up this week as well.
Yes, sir. And for both the sports, shorties will be coming back. We haven't done shorties in a little bit, but they will be coming back here soon, maybe in the next few days. And you know, the baseball preview that will be coming on up when the playoffs are starting. Hey, lo and behold, man, the season's going to be over in a couple of weeks, and it's going to be time for the playoffs. So we will have that show coming on up. And let's see. Oh, interviews and some of these extra shows during the week. Look for those to start. Let's go late October. We'll go late October with it, and of course, Patrick and I will have these conversations to see where the schedule lies and see how we can line all that up. Until then, that is the Both with Sports webcast for this evening, and that is what we are breathing on. So, y'all make sure y'all visit the Both with Sports YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the Both with Sports Facebook page. Aaron, thanks for coming on in, and I did not forget about the documentary, so I will go in there and because I'm on your channel. So yeah, we'll go ahead and look for that and see if I can watch that at sometime in the next week or so. Definitely before the next webcast.
Yeah, we'll watch it before the next webcast, and we'll say something about it.
So with that, everybody take care. Enjoy the games that are coming up for this week, and have a good rest of the week.